Hey, what's up guys? This is Dark Arm Duelist, and today I'm going to do a deck profile of Boxers. Yeah, I know, it's been long awaited for me doing an actual deck profile. I just didn't really know what to do yet, and, I had a request to do Boxers, and this is a shout out to Peyton Little. Hey man, what's up? I told you I'd do it, and here it is. Without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. I've been playing Boxers a while. It is probably, in my opinion, I just want to go ahead and say this, guys, this is the most defensive deck you will ever play in your life, in my opinion. It is the most defensive and probably beat sticky deck you will make next to Chaos Dragons, because it just comes at you like a hailstorm of fists, which I guess is what it's supposed to do because it is Boxers and they're, punchy. Anyways, well, here we go. Let's see what we got. I play 3 copies of Switch Hitter because he lets you go into lead yoke really quick, and that is what you want to do. You want to go into lead yoke as quickly as you can. Then I play 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Glassjaw because when he is sent to the graveyard, you get to add a Battlin Boxer from your graveyard. I think it's graveyard, is it? This card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect. Okay, when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add 1 Boxer from your graveyard to your hand. So essentially, if you've already got a Boxer in the graveyard and you activate Foolish Burial, I think I have that in this deck. I'm pretty sure I do. I might not, but if I don't, you should play Foolish Burial. He lets you add 1 back, which is really great if you got like a Switch Hitter engrave and you add him back. Then you normal summon your Switch Hitter, and then you go into you bring this back, and then you special summon this and go into yoke. So he's really good. Then I play 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Spar. He lets you essentially special summon into your yoke if you have just a single normal summon like Glassjaw or Headgear. Spar lets you special summon himself, but you have to skip your battle phase, which isn't that big of a deal with yoke because you're just essentially going to summon yoke and then sit on it because it really defends you. And that's the main reason I built this deck, was because I was tired of playing stuff that just swarmed, and then everything got destroyed, and I was like, well, there went everything. Then I read lead yoke and I was like, well, this could work. This could work. This could be the answer to my prayers of, hey, this is gonna stay on the field. This is gonna live for at least 3 times of it being destroyed. Okay. Then we play 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Headgear because he is essentially the Foolish Burial of the deck, which, if you want to play more Foolish Burials, if you want to play like 1 Foolish Burial and 3 of these guys, you can. I don't really think it's that necessary. I mean, if you don't, it's not going to kill the deck. I mean, it's just not. You got 3 Foolish Burials essentially in this deck with him. So, and if you normal summon him and you have a Spar in hand, you could essentially send any of your Battlin Boxers to the graveyard and then go into a Spar and then first turn yoke, which is a big play in this deck, and you just go nuts. I mean, it's great. I like it. Then I tech in, because I like it, 2 Battlin Boxer Veil. If you take battle damage, you can special summon this guy in defense position and then act basically like you didn't take the damage. I mean, I like him. I like him because if you don't have yoke and they attack you with a really big monster and then they've got something else smaller than 1800 on the field and they swat you in the face with the first one, it's the big one, then you special summon this guy in defense, you're going to live. You're going to live, and the next turn you can just normal summon another Boxer and just go into yoke and just sit on yoke and be fine. You'll be fine. I mean, I like it. Then you play 2 Photon Thrasher because he helps you go into rank 4s easier, in my opinion. Then you play 2 Masked Chameleons. I like playing Masked Chameleon because he lets me have the ability to synchro if I do so choose to. And plus, he has six targets. No, seven targets in the deck, because he can target Glassjaw, he can target Photon Thrasher, and he can target the next card that I'm about to show you. But be careful with him, because I think if you already have a synchro on the field, you cannot special summon or summon another one. Yeah, he can't be normal summoned if you have another or level 5 or higher monster on the field. I mean, this is just a tech. I'm just showing you guys my techs now. That was the core behind there, but this is my techs. Then I play 2 Goblinberg, because again, this deck is focusing on all the aspects. If I can synchro a little bit by playing 2 cards in the deck, I'm going to. And if I can overlay in the deck harder, I'm going to do it. Because this essentially, if you have a Spar in hand and you have a Glassjaw in hand and you have this in hand, you will go into a 4 or a Star Cestus in your first turn. And Star Cestus is a really nice card in this deck. I like him a lot because he is essentially probably next to Yoke one of the best cards in the entire deck. But anyways, then you play Dark Hole. Nifty little trick with this card. If you have Yoke on field and you activate this, Yoke doesn't die, you detach 1, he goes up by 800, and then you swing at your opponent, and it's great. And then you just are like, hey, 3,000 in the face. Or 28 if you've already gotten targeted. Then you play triple reinforcement to the army because it thins the deck and gets you what you need. Then you play 3 Pot of Dualities because the deck just doesn't have all that great consistency. I mean, it has good consistency. I like the consistency of the deck, but with 3 Pot of Dualities, you're going to get what you need. I mean, I want to get to Kaiser Coliseum as quickly as possible so I can get to a Yoke and then just sit on Yoke and be like, okay, what you going to do with 1 monster? Unless they kill Kaiser Coliseum, and then I'm like, oh, we go into clutch mode. Then, to protect Yoke and Star Cestus, we play 3 Forbidden Lance. Because Forbidden Lance is nice, and if they attack you with one of your smaller Battlin boxers with something, and you target their lance, or you target them with lance, it does give them a 800 point disadvantage to your boxers, which typically your boxer will win with that. Then you play 2 Battlin Box and Spirits because it does mill a card, and this is, I think, why I don't play. I haven't played with this deck in a while. It's just, I just got it out. It was dusty. I haven't played with it in a while because I've been focusing on Evil Sworns and other stuff, but I still remember the plays. Battlin Box and Spirit lets you mill a card off the top of your deck, and then you can special summon. If it was a boxer, if you have a boxer in your graveyard, you can special summon a boxer from your graveyard. So if you have any other box in your hand, then you normal summon that one, you have a boxer in grave, activate Battlin Box and Spirit, overlay into Yoke. Boom. This deck makes Yoke for days. 4 days. There's a reason I play Yoke at 3 in this deck. Then, not a lot of people play this, but I'm kind of playing all the aspects of this deck's potential because I like taking a deck and making it amazing. I play double rank up Magic or Barion's Force. I like it because you make this guy, and he is amazing. After this video, by the way, or at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about a few little tech things that you could add into this deck. Then I play 2 Kaiser Coliseums because if you have Yoke on the field, I talked about that earlier, you keep 1 monster on the field and they are just shut down, and you're just like, hey, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And they can't get over Yoke, and then you're set. And I only play 4 traps in this deck. I play 20 monsters, 16 spells, 4 traps, because traps are not needed as much as you think they are in this deck, in my opinion. I play 1 Compulse, I play 1 Warning, and I play double Mirror Force, just so I can protect my boxers until I get Yoke. I mean, that is all you need in the deck, in my opinion. I mean, you could play a Bottomless, and you could play a Torrential, because Torrential is nice in here, and I would, if I was you, I would play a Torrential. I don't know what I would take out. I haven't edited this deck in a little while, but I would play a Torrential if I was you in this deck. Torrential Tribute is just amazing, because Yoke doesn't die to Torrential. Okay, then we'll move on to the extra deck. I play 1 Number 105, Battlin Boxer, Comet Cestus, because he is amazing. He's amazing, he's amazing, he's amazing. Make him as quickly as possible if you can't make Yoke. If you can make him quick. Then you play one copy of number 105, Battlin Boxer Star Cestus, because you can make him if you don't have Variance Force, and you can sit on him, and you can swing at your opponent and negate their effects, and they take battle damage for your mess-ups. Then you play 3 Yokes, because this deck is not Battlin Boxer without 3 Yokes. Then you play 1 Blade Armor Ninja if you need to swing for game. You play 1 Papal Operative because it's Papal Operative. You play a 101 Arc because anything that can make rank 4s needs a 101 Arc. But you can play without the deck if you just want to play defensive. If you want to play like, hey, I'm going to steal your stuff, play 101 Arc. If you don't and you don't have the money for it, just play Battlin Boxer Lead Yoke. It's okay. I played a long time where I just played this for fun. Then we play a Heroic Champion Excalibur because 4,000 beaters are fun. Then you play a Castiel the Sky Blaster Musketeer because bouncing stuff is nice. Evil Sworn Exciton Knight. I think Yoke can live through this. I'm not sure. Let me see. What cards and you have? There's you do, and then target one. Yeah, lead Yoke lives through this. Okay, so if you have this, and you have this, and you overlay into this, both of these, and then our opponent has more cards than you do in hand and on field, which typically when you overlay twice, they will. You blow up the field, he goes up to 3,000, you keep him. Next turn, they're like, well, I think I lost. Then you play 1 Maestroke because he's defensive and he can flip stuff like a Book of Moon. Then you play a Gaga Cowboy because he pushes for game. Then for the synchros, you play 1 Crimson Blader, which shuts down dragons. It shuts down E-Dragons, which I hate E-Dragons. And anybody who's watched my channel knows I hate E-Dragons, and I've always hated E-Dragons since they came out because I thought they were broken as hell. It shuts down Shadows because if you can get them, it shuts down most synchroing decks. This shuts down. I mean, that's all you need to know. It shuts down synchroing decks. It shuts down fusioning decks. And then you always play a Colossal Fighter. In any warrior deck that can synchro, you play a Colossal Fighter because Colossal Fighter is just a good card. Now, if I was going to play anything else in the deck, I would probably play a Torrential, and I think that's it. I really wish Battlin Boxer, what's his name? Shadow Boxer, or Battlin Boxer Shadow, I really wish he was a card. I really, really wish he was a card, because if he was a card, this deck would be like at least maybe tier 2. Maybe tier 2. I think this deck would be a heck of a lot better than what it is now. Not to say this deck is bad, it's just, it's not my favorite deck because some of the cards in the deck are just not... They're not as good as what the meta is. Next to Burning Abyss, Shadows, and Teller Knights, even Yang Zing or whatever it is, or Yang Zing, or I don't know. This deck does not do it. I mean, it does if you play it right, but you gotta play the deck right. You can't push. You have to make a monster and be patient. This is a patience deck. But anyways, if you're a patient player, make it. Make this deck. It is amazing. It is amazing. It is amazing. I love this deck. I made it because it was nice. But anyways, guys, this is Dark Arm Duelist. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and like, and give me some comments on what else you want to see. I've got Evil Sworns, I've got Blackwings, I've got Heretic 5-God Dragon, I've got all sorts of stuff. Comment with requests. I will try and make it if you guys want to see it. Even if I just do a screen cap and I talk about it, I will try and do it. But anyways, Dark Arm Duelist, I'm out.